Alrighty, so I want to make a video about how to calculate values and find comparable sales and figure out what a house is worth. And I want to show you several ways to do it. I want to first show you the fast, simple method to do it. And this isn't going to be the most accurate, but it'll be good enough. This is the fast way to do it. So I'm using Zillow.com. You can use some other free online websites like Trulia, Realtor, Redfin, but I like Zillow.com because I've used it for so long. So you can use Zillow.com, and in Zillow it has a Zestimate. So you can take that Zestimate. Now I know I've always heard, well, you can't, don't go by the Zestimate because that's not going to be accurate. Well, they've actually done a better job, and it's getting pretty close because they have more and more sales data in their system. It's pretty close. So, but I'm not telling you to use that. I'm just telling you to take it right now. So you'll use Zillow Zestimate. Then you'll go to the county website that the property's located in. Now I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. So yours will be different if you're in another area, but Zillow will sometimes have the link straight to it. So in Arkansas, it's arcountydata.com, and you can go down and it'll give you a value as well. So it's actually saying 79. That's a pretty big difference. So right now we've got a 96 and a 79. So let's use one other one, and I like to use Total View Real Estate. This was created by some investor some time ago. I don't know when. But you can use this one and put in the address. Now I just chose this property randomly just because I was on Zillow and I just clicked on a yellow dot. And this one shows 95. And it actually, I think, takes a combination of some comps here, some recent solds, and maybe it takes into consideration Zestimate and the Zestimate from Zillow and other things, but they say 95.4. So all you're going to do is take an average of the three, right? So we had 79 and 96.7 and, excuse me, yeah, 96.7 and then 95.4. So if we just took an average of the three, let me pull up my calculator. So we had 79, and then we had, what did we have? 95, or you don't have to do exact here. And then you had the 96.7. And just divide it by 3, and you're going to have an average of 90,385. So you can just say 90,500. All right, 90,500. And that's good enough, okay? So that's the one way you can get a value of a house, is taking the average of those three resources. All right? And by the way, if you take the county assessed value, not assessed, but county market value, this one's a little off. I think it's probably higher than that, closer to that 90 range, but because right here it shows it sold for 106. So warranty deed, interesting. So it's a little low, but you know, 90, 95, you're fine. All right. So the other way is to pull sales data from recent solds around your subject property. So let's just pick another one. Let's go to for sale. Now this is when you want to get a little bit more detailed in knowing what a house would sell for. So let's pick, where am I at? Let's pick something kind of up here. How about the oh, I don't know, doesn't matter. Let's go to west. Let's go somewhere over here. Let's pick this one. Okay, so we have a 1,400 square foot 3.2. All right, we want to know what this property would be worth. Let's say it's not for sale or anything, but we're looking at buying it. Maybe it is for sale, I don't know. We want to see what the value of this would be. So What we're going to do is we're going to go and use our filters, and you want to do 300 square feet plus and minus. So if it's 1400, you can go 11, and it was like 14 something, right? So let's just do 1750. And 3 months is the best thing to do, but sometimes I have to go 6 months, so we'll go 90 days. And the only other thing is you want to make like similar properties, okay, similar to that property. Forgot my address, I'm so sorry. Gotta find the address I just chose. Was that it? Nope. Way to kill the momentum, Justin. Okay, we'll do this one. 26 Markham Place Circle. Alright, this one we're going to do. So it's 1542, so we'll do our filters. So we'll go 12, 40, 18, 50. Okay? Plus or minus 300 square feet. And then we're going to go 90 days if we can. And you have to do similar properties. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll see when it was built. And this one was built 77. So we want to take out any of the new houses that were built. So I'll go a maximum of, let's just say, 2005. That may or may not take out some, but you want to be in the same neighborhood. Alright? So Markham Place is right there. So you want to be in this general vicinity, and there's plenty of them right here. What you want to do is click on recently sold. And you have a lot of data, okay? And then why is there one 320 there? Why is there a 320? I bet that's a package of several houses that were bought all at once. Okay, so what you want to do is you have your filters in there, and you want to find all of these properties. So what you can do is you can take a spreadsheet and you can just start putting in the prices. Okay, let me slide this over here. Slide this over. And you want to do Parkside 164, 1657. I'm doing the sales price and the square feet. Okay, so I'm just kind of throwing them all in here. 610 Atkins. Also, what you can do is to make sure you're in this same vicinity. Zillow has a cool tool where you can click on this little thing and you can draw an area. So let's just do everything within this neighborhood. Fair enough? That way we're not pulling houses from over here or down here that's not in this neighborhood. So hit apply, and there's your list. So let's go back to the list. Let's make sure these were still on the list. And this is a little time consuming, so that's why I said let's do the quick and easy way first, because you don't need to do this until you kind of have one under contract and you're moving forward and you're doing your due diligence. So let's replace the wagon wheel, which I don't see anymore, with this one. Okay, and this had 1438, and I'm just pulling in data from these right here. And I'm not even looking at them. You can tell I'm not even really looking at them yet. So 149. Now, if you have a real estate agent, or if you are a real estate agent, you can skip this and pull a CMA out of the MLS system. But since we don't have that right now, we're going to do this method. I'm almost done, guys. Hold on 1 second. 142. I want to do a few more. Let me keep going. There's a lot of good data here, so we're going to have some really good understanding of what this thing should be valued at. Almost done. I want to show you something kind of neat. And you know, the reason why I'm typing in these addresses is I don't need it to show you how to do this, but you know, I would want these records if I'm really doing my due diligence during an inspection period, or you know, really about to buy a property. I really want to see and hone in on what it could be sold for, or what it could be valued at. This one's a good one because it's a lower priced one. We want to put that in there. 12720. Almost done. A lot of good data. And let me just check my filters to make sure I've got, look, I've got 90 days and that much have sold. I think we're in a hot neighborhood. Would you agree? I'll put this one in there too, 11 Cedar Ridge. Now you're not going to see you see that 300,043 sales price and all that. You're not going to see that most of the time, and I really think the reason why we're seeing that is someone bought more than one and it's showing up as one sale for that particular property. I think that's why we're seeing that, or there was an error. Okay, so now what we want to do is get the price per square foot. Now you could have made columns up here: address, sales price, square feet, price per square feet. But the price per square feet is going to be, I think it's this divided by that. Yeah, and so you want to carry that formula all the way down. And so here's our data, our price per square feet, and I think we could fix that. Now what you want to do is look at the highest and the lowest and see if there are any that are just way different than the others. So I like to take out the highest, and then I also like to take out the lowest. And then I'm going to take an average of these square footages. So how do I do average on this thing? I think I do a formula somewhere, don't I? Let's see, formulas. Whoops, average. Try it again, average. Go all the way up. So we have $97 a square foot average. So we're going to take that 97 and do our subject property and put the square feet in there. And our subject property square feet was, I was using this 26 Markham Place, 1542. Okay, and so I'm just going to multiply that times that. And I've got a 149 sales price. Look, it's for sale, 144. Now, another thing you do, especially if you have some varied data, if you have like some 80s and some 105, see how you got an 87 and a 104? This one probably needed some work and wasn't in the best condition, or wasn't updated and new. And this one was probably more remodeled and was in better condition. So just keep that in mind and consideration. But I'm not doing this video for, say, a fix and flip rehabber to really know. I'm just doing it as a you know, to know if it's a good deal or not, in order to come up with your offer. That's the purpose of doing these values like this. Okay, so I've got I've got 149 as a good value, so let's just call it 150. Now, let's do one step further. The next step is, what do you offer on a property if you're considering buying it as an investment? And so you need to know the value first, and then you remember the formula. I think Ron LeGrand created this formula, but a lot of people use it now. So you go value times 70% minus repairs and so you do value times 70% minus repairs equals your maximum offer, which is a price that an investor would pay because they still have that 30% equity left after they've repaired it. And so what we can do is we can do that times 70%. I'm not good at Excel. That times 105. Now you're going to subtract repairs, and so repairs is another formula. Let's say if we were looking at this house, I want to say this one needs about $15 a square foot. Actually, it's not bad. I can go a little cheaper than that. I need to see what the roof looks like. Roof's probably okay. I think this would be painted. Paint all that and paint a different color. Flooring, I don't know if that's vinyl or what. Depends on what kind of rehab you're doing, but whatever the rehab you're doing is, let's just call it $10 a square foot. So that puts it at a $15,000 rehab. I would go 15 a foot possibly if you were going to fix and flip it and make it nice and new. Then it would be the 22.5 because you're adding another 7,500 here. So we could just do 20,000, right? So you want to do 105 minus 20, and that's your maximum offer, okay, that you would want to offer for this property as an investment. Does that make sense? So let me do it one more time. You got a value of 150, which is actually 149. You're going to multiply 70%, 105, 150 times 70%, 105 minus 20,000 for repairs. You got $85,000. Now, if I wanted multiple exit strategies, meaning I might want to flip it to another investor, I know the other investors should be able to pay somewhere around 85, so I may offer 75. That way, if I want to wholesale it, which is just sell to another investor, let them fix it up or rent it or do whatever they want to do, then I would need to offer maybe 75 so I can make 10,000 on my investment. Does that make sense? So I'm showing you this formula on making offers for this reason here. Thanks for being patient. Because that formula doesn't work in every neighborhood. And whether you're in Little Rock or other neighborhoods, especially if you're in a lower priced market like Little Rock, it's not going to work in every neighborhood. So let me show you why. If you go to, let's just say 72209, and let's take out all this. I don't care about all this really. I can put 1,000 square feet. Why not? I could do like 800. It really doesn't matter. Well, let's just do it. Okay. 1,000. And let's do that. Do a range. Take out a few of them. All right. So let's say we're looking in here. Let's say this is our neighborhood. Our subject property, I want to pick one now. I want to pick 7501 Redwood. Now I hope this works. Meaning I hope I chose a good example. 7501 Redwood. All right, so let's just say we did the same scenario and we come up with a value of, excuse me, not this scenario, but we did a quick, check the Zestimate, 65,000, okay, 64,000. And then we pick county website. It's a lot of information. I didn't realize my video was going to be this long. I'm sorry. Hopefully it's good though, right? They say it's worth 33.7. They might be on to something. That's horrible. Okay, and this isn't going to be a good example. And then 7501. Check this out. Let's see what they say. It's going to be interesting. 63. See that? They're pulling other solds in the area, and they got 63. So this is what's going to mess it up, that 33.7. But let's just say that because look, these are actual sales. So if you're doing like this strategy, these right here, and you're going for the highest comps. Okay, let's say that you're going for the highest comps. You're going to see those comps in here. Okay, you got a 50 or a 55, 95, 95, another 50. How many square feet was Redwood? 1368. You got a 109, 108, 105, 107. There's a bunch of hundreds there. Now, there's one. Look at that one. 96, 94, 92, 82, 75, 67, 50, 58, 57, 55. So you see how you could actually get this 64 range. So now let's do the formula on the 64. Looking at the repairs now. Looks like it's in decent shape. Halfway remodel. Not too shabby. Let's assume, does it have central heat and air, I wonder? I don't see a unit. I don't see a window unit either though. Okay. Got a good roof on it. So let's just call the repairs, I don't know, 10,000. You might could do something about that, the cabinet hardware and stuff. And it's in pretty good shape though. Let's just call it 10,000. So you're going to do this formula: 63 times 70%, 63,000 times 70% equals 44.1 minus 10,000. You got 34.1 as the most you could pay, and then if you wanted to so you're saying that another investor or yourself or whatever would pay 34.1 for it, and as a wholesaler you want to be under that. You want to be at 24.1 or anything under 34.1. So let's just say you got the property for 30 and you are like to go ahead and let another investor buy it from you at 34. Here's the problem with this neighborhood is if you go, you're going to see recent solds lower than the 34. See, this formula is telling you that you should be able to sell it pretty easily at 34. Investors should pay 34. But if you go and look, you got 21, 29, 24, 16, 17, 25, 31, 24. You get the picture. There's a bunch of them, 23, that are lower than the 34. Then you can go to for sales. Now this is a hot market, so there may not be any for sales that are low because it's a hot market right now. There's a 30. Yeah, there's a 22. That's just a lot. So it's a little difficult to right now because it's such a hot market and there's not a lot of inventory. It's a seller's market. But so you got a 35 and a 30 for sale currently. So if you put this thing out there to other investors at 34, they're going to say, well, what can I buy this house for? I mean, why would I give them 34 whenever I could buy this one at 30 or less? Or they're going to look at this house, 35. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So you can't use that formula in the lower price neighborhoods because you're going to see both for sales and recently sold that are lower. Look at that. Let me show you this. 90 days. There's a 29. 43. Well, there's a 25. That's starting to prove me wrong a little bit. But I'm telling you, we're in a hot market, and that's why. Promise you. Look, 18, 28, 23, 24. So if you're wholesaling and you're trying to sell it to guys who buy in this zip code in this area, they're buying them for 26, 28, 18, 23, 24, 29, 27, 15. Ask me how I know, because I buy in here too. 25, this is the range that we buy them at, not the 35s. Now, you know, if it's really, really nice, brick, whatever, we may do something like that. But you just need to look at the sold data, and if you're seeing a big difference between, if it's saying it's worth 60, you should see a bunch of 60s, 70s in here, and not a whole bunch of 28s and 24s and all that. This tells you that you're in a neighborhood that there's not as many retail sales, but there's investor activity, and they're buying these as rentals, and you need to make sure that you're in the lower price range. So what I would do as a wholesaler, if I wanted the exit strategy to be able to resell to another investor, I wanted to be really safe. I wouldn't offer 34 on this house. Even if I offered 24 on it, I would make sure that it's going to be the best. I'm just not going to expect to be able to sell it for 34 to another investor. I might get it, but I'm just saying you got too many lower priced deals here that investors have bought at to bite on a 34 sales price. Does that make sense? So I would want to probably sell this thing, you know, in the mid 20s, mid to upper 20s. So I'd want to be in it for around 20. That's a big difference between, you know, being in it for 24 to 30 and being in it from, you know, 18. So I hope that helps. I'm sorry this was a little lengthy, but I needed you to be aware of that as well. All right, so that's how you come up with your recent solds and come up with your values, come up with your offer, and then just be aware of what neighborhood you're in. And if you see some activity where recent solds have a lot lower than what you believe should be the value of the house, which is the 60s on this one, then just know that that formula may not apply, and you have to take into consideration what investors are paying in this area. All right, so I hope this helps, and thanks a lot. Visit theblessedinvestor.com for more information.